Hello Year 4. Today for computing we're going to continue with coding on Purple Mash, and today we're going to be creating a timer. So can you remember what a variable is, and why do you think it's important to have a sensible name for the variables in your code? So we have an example here. It says create a number variable called day and make it equal to 0. So this was from last lesson. So variables are like boxes where the computer can store information so that it can remember it in the code and use it later on. Each variable should have a name, and it should be something that helps you remember what it is, because once you program bigger programs and games, you're going to have lots of variables that you need to keep track of. The information inside the box is called the variable value. So the variable is day and the variable value is 0. So let's look at this code. Can you read it and predict what the program will do? It creates a number variable called number timer and sets it to 0. It then uses a timer and calls it every 1 second. It then adds 1 to the number timer and prints the number to the screen. Let's have a look. So this code counts every second and prints the seconds to the screen. So every second it adds 1 and then it prints it. So it goes 1, 2, 3 and it continues for the amount of time that you have the program running. So why are timers useful when coding? The timers are useful because it can tell us how long a game or a program has been running for. So for example, if you only want them to play a game for 5 minutes, otherwise it's game over, you can use a timer. It helps us perform actions after a certain amount of time, so you might need to wait before changing a background or telling the user a message. It helps us check things at different times, and it makes the program wait before doing something. Today you're going to be completing the Guard the Castle guided lesson, and there are 5 levels. To log into Purple Mash, you can use a web browser such as Google Chrome and search MyUSO, and then click on the first link. You then click the red USO login button, use your Frog username and password, and then click on Purple Mash. Once you've logged into Purple Mash, you can click Computing, and then To Code, and scroll down until you get to Gibbon, and we're going to be doing Guard the Castle. Click Launch App, and you have the 5 levels, so we're going to click number 1, and click OK. So I'm just going to show you how to save your work. So we go to Menu, and then Save. Then you need to go to your class, so for example for Ash, and then Coding 1, and you can type Miss Kadri. This is my second one, so I'm going to click Save. And every time you change something, you can go back and save it. And it will save the name for you, click Save again, and overwrite it. So I'm going to run through the whole code with you today, just to help you out a little bit more. But remember, you can click the question mark, and then you have hints that you can watch that tells you the answer. Make the knight move right. So I'm going to drag the knight block to the screen, and I'm going to make it move right. To test your code, press the play button, and if you have done it correctly, you can click next challenge. Okay, make a timer that checks the knight's X position every second. If it's greater than 15, make the knight go left. What this means is, if the knight's position is greater than 15, it means that he's gone off of the screen, and we don't want that to happen. We want him to move right and then left again. So we're going to make a timer, and we're going to check every, so click on after and change it to every 1 second, the knight's position. So if knight X value is greater than 15, then we want the knight to drag the knight inside the if block. We want the knight to move left. So press play. So we're going to wait, and once it reaches 15, it's going to go the other way. It now says that if the knight's X position is less than 5, make the knight go right. So if the knight moves back to the left, we don't want it to go off the screen, so we want it to come back. So we can copy this code, so we can put it inside the timer. So timer every 1 second, under the if, but not inside. So not here, we need it underneath. So if the knight, if its X position is less than 5, less and then 5. We want the night to move right. So press play. So it's moving right, and then it will move left, and then it should move right again. Next challenge. So there's a bug. The instructions to the nights have been mixed up. Can you fix it? So one of the nights is going off the screen. So we have night 2 and we have night. So we need to make sure that the if matches the night that's inside. So we can change night to night, and then night to night. And here's night 2. So click that, we'll leave it like that, but inside it says night, and we don't want that to happen. So we're going to change this to night 2, so that this if statement is checking what night 2 is doing, and then again for the last one. So night moving right and night moving left. And then if we look here, remember the second one should be less than 5, not greater than 5, otherwise it's just going to go off the screen. So we can change this last greater to less, and now it has said that we can move on to the next challenge. So the lesson is now complete. Then it says that we can make our own castle and try add more objects, making them move and adding more collision. So for this you can go to design and you can add more objects, so drag it onto the screen. So I have a dragon. Then if I exit design, I can get the dragon, drag it onto my code underneath, and I can make it move left, and then I press play. It makes it look like he's flying. But if you don't want him to go off the screen, you're going to need to code something similar like this. So make something really fun and interesting, so when I check your work, I'll have a bit of fun as well. So remember, go to File, and then Save, and it has the name, so just click Save again. Are you sure you want to overwrite? Okay. So I hope that explains things a little bit more, and have fun.